as Karen said, my name is Heather, and I recently started a group up in Stratford called Stratford Urban Farming Experiment. And thank you to all of my urban farmers that are in the audience. You make me feel a lot more comfortable. So I'd just like to talk about some of the reasons why I started this project. The main reason is sustainability, and I'd like to invite all of you to join me and help create a more sustainable Stratford. Now, to me, sustainability or a sustainable system is a closed-loop mechanism that requires no input from external sources and produces no waste. So a sustainable community produces its own food and is entirely self-reliant. Although, Stratford has a long way to go, and I don't necessarily think that's going to happen, I think it's really important that we take small steps to try. I think this is important because it's the only way to future-proof our community. With rising oil prices and a decline in oil production, it's going to have knock-on effects to all sorts of communities, especially communities that rely heavily on external resources such as food or money. And Stratford is a prime example of a community that relies heavily on external resources. And by that I mean money via tourism. I think we rely way too heavily on tourism, and it would be ideal, maybe not possible, but certainly ideal, if we were a self-sufficient, self-reliant community, and tourism was a nice bonus to that community. So, how can we make a change? The way I see it is I think that you have to individually make a change in your mind and think that you want to live a bit more sustainably. Then you have to make domestic changes. Then projects like my urban farming experiments, you interact with those in your community and try to make small changes together. And basically, I'll talk about Stratford Urban Farming Experiment now. And what we're doing is we're growing vegetables in people's backyards in the community. We have 9 backyards for next year. So we're using unused lawn space, which would be otherwise used for grass, and then you'd have to cut it with using gas, and that's such a waste of gas. But anyway, we're using wasted lawn space and growing vegetables to close some of the loops in our system. So Stratford Urban Farming Experiment is just a group of passionate volunteers interested in mainly having fun and getting together, and happen to be growing food, or at least trying to grow food. We're very inclusive, we're a very diverse group. Anyone can come to the meetings, anyone can join the mailing list. It's just about having fun. So far what we have done, we've had a meet and greet, and I just kind of put a poster up to take a feel out to see who was interested in this kind of thing. And I was really impressed and surprised at 20 people that showed up, and not only the number, but the quality and the passion in everybody. We've also had a potluck and a garden prep party right there, where we got the garden ready for the winter. We've got a few other gardens ready, just kind of whenever we could work it into our schedule. We also have a window garden. It's kind of looking sad right now, but we're working on it at Rebel Cafe, and we also have a public book collection on top, gardening books. Things we want to do in the future, in the near future, and in, this year. Cheese making, beer making, seed saving, and there's also some secret projects that you're only going to hear about if you actually participate. And there's 2 or 3 of them going on right now. I think together we can make a more sustainable Stratford, and if you want to follow the blog or Twitter, that would be great. If you have any ideas of other projects we can do, I would love to hear about them, and even if I can't participate, I will definitely send it to my volunteers. Come along, you might just get fed, and I'd like to see Stratford as a thriving, self-reliant community that happens to be a tourist destination. Thank you.